So if you're clicking to this video, you're probably in the same boat as a lot of us of wanting to live a more intentional life this 2026, wanting to slow down and get back into slower living, right? Getting more in tune with yourself through journaling, through taking pictures, doing some analog film, doing some writing, doing some painting. And let's be honest, the last couple years or the last year alone has thrown so much at us, from everything that's in the news, politics, to AI and technology, and just like trends and stuff like that on social media that honestly are not doing the best for us in like a positive way, right? If anything, is just overwhelming us. And I'm definitely in the same boat. I'm definitely overwhelmed. I'm desensitized to a lot of things. So that's why I went back to journaling. And I've been on and off through my journaling journey. That's okay. It's taken a while for me to find a really good system for me. I got a lot of notebooks in the past. I've always been the type to write things down, and notes on the computer don't really work for me because you're just able to write so fast that, for my mind at least, because I have ADHD, I'm writing faster than I can think. So that I'm not really truly processing the information that I'm wanting to retain, whether it's like taking notes on like a call or for work, or just like personal things, like if I'm reading a book and like taking notes. It's very hard for me to remember a lot of those things. For me, journaling has been a really good system for retaining a lot of the information and getting more in touch with myself and my feelings and everything that goes on in my mind. So I wanted to kind of just talk about that. If you're not into journaling, if you've tried it before, whether it's bullet journaling, junk journaling, commonplacing, morning notes, or you just have a notepad and you're trying to figure out a better system to just take with you on the go, or just have at home ready to go whenever you're writing. Hopefully this video helps you do that. So first and foremost, I want to kind of just share like what my notebooks are, like my two main notebooks that I have. The other one's actually upstairs, but we're just going to say it's magically here, just so I don't have to go up and get it. Let's start with the small one. Let me put this here. So this journal, it's a Paper Republic journal. It's like a passport size. If you guys are familiar with like traveler's notebook, it's slightly bigger than a traveler's notebook, which is why I decided to go with this one. This was like the first, I would say, like big journal purchase that I made about maybe like December 2023. I was in Vegas, super overwhelmed. I low-key hate that city because there's just a lot of things. I think the best thing is just like the In-N-Out that's over there. But I taking things like notes on my phone, trying to remember things, trying to remember really cool moments, like taking pictures and stuff like that. But there was a lot of moments where I just wanted to write like what my feelings were. And at the time I didn't really have anything. So I wanted something that was portable, something that I could carry with me with just throw it in my bag, not really care too much about it. Obviously I do care a lot about it, but you get what I mean. This kind of just collects, stamps and photos and a whole bunch of like different stickers and, places I've been. This is just like my travel sort of journal. For just like random notes. There's nothing really specific that I want to kind of just keep on here. It just makes me feel better that I can carry something with me and write something down, or grab a receipt for something and just keep it here. I have some change, I have some photos, some business cards. I can use this as my wallet, and I have some cool charms here to kind of just personalize it, which, you can totally do that. But I got this journal for that. And there's a lot of different things that you can carry to kind of try to slow down your thinking, or just try to write on the spot. Field notes is a very common and very cheap entry level sort of notepad that you can buy in like bundles and packs. So a lot of people do that. I'm also in the filmmaking space. Between writing notes or questions for the clients that I'm interviewing, or if I have like a really good question that I kind of just think of in the spot, I don't want to, forget it, then I'll just write it here. So this serves or has served in the past for things like that to kind of just remember on the go. So this is kind of like my slash sort of like work, personal, kind of just like everything goes in here. And it's really good system to have. So I'll recommend that. This one's a Paper Republic. I'll leave a link down below for this one. It's a pocket size. And I'll leave a link below for like the Traveler's Journal one, just in case you guys want to get into that. Those are a little bit more, I would say, easier to obtain because they're just like everywhere pretty much. Like there's a local stationery store here that sells them. Depending on where you're at, there might be a lot more. Like Chicago has a ton of stationery stores. New York has a ton. I'm sure Boston, Seattle for sure has a ton. So probably find some there, but you can definitely buy them online. So that's my pocket-sized journal, travel notebook. The next notebook that I have that I use almost every morning is my morning pages. So to not get too deep into the weeds of like the process of journaling and different types of journal entries that you can make, this is just a notepad or a notebook that I have for just my thoughts early in the morning. As soon as I wake up, if I have a dream, if I have a question, something that I forgot that I want to remember, specific quote from like books that I've read that for whatever reason I wake up and kind of just listen to that. Like it just comes to me. I write it down. I write how I'm feeling, what my goals are for the day, maybe a recap for like the day before. If I ate something yummy, the day before, like how did that make me feel the day after? If I go work out, like how the workout made me feel in the morning. It's literally anything and everything. You'd be surprised in the amount of things that you actually retain that you have in the very morning. And it just makes my mornings go a lot easier. They're not necessarily like I'm a morning person. So like I love waking up early, having a cup of coffee. Maybe I'll write notes about my coffee that I made that day, the flavor notes for the coffee that I'm using, like the grind size, things like that. Because that's what comes to mind in the very early mornings. If I wake up and I have a lot of thoughts or a lot of things to write about, I'll go ahead and do it. Even the days that I don't have a lot of things to write about, it could just be a sentence. I just force myself to write until I don't have anything else to write, and I close it up, and it's just there waiting for me the next day or the next morning that I want to wake up and write something. So that's my morning pages. It's just a Midori notebook that I have. I love the feeling of the notebook. Maybe that's a video that I can do in the future about just like my favorite notebooks to write on, my favorite pens. And if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know down in the comments down below. We'd love to make that happen. So those are my two notebooks that I have. My third notebook, the one that I use the most, that is my most, I would say, prized possession of all the ones that I have, is yet another Paper Republic notebook. And this is an A4, I believe, or like an XL on their website. This is just like a green Italian leather, or the green colorway. I think they call it something different. So for commonplacing, again, not to get too deep into the weeds for different types of journaling or journaling strategies or things like how to write or whatever. Commonplace for me at the very beginning, before I found out this system for me, I used to have, I think, one more notebook which was just like random creative ideas, random things that happened throughout the day that I wanted to kind of just go into detail a little bit more. So I narrowed it down to, well, at the very beginning, to sort of have like a frontal lobe journaling system, which is what I found out in the internet for whatever, which was like writing my goals, writing my affirmations, writing my visualizations and my prompts that I had to kind of just get myself through the day, right? Do these every day for 3 months is what I told myself. On the 28th of October. So that's where I started this notebook. This is the second notebook that I had from Paper Republic, or at least another refill for whatever it is. Towards the end of the year, like around December 24th, I had a different way of approaching this, which I turned it into my Commonplace journal. Because going back into like my entries, I was realizing that I have a lot of thoughts. I want to write about a little bit of everything, from playing a game and I want to write about the experience that I had in the game, or something cool happened, or there was a really cool quote, I want to write it down in the journal. And I want to have a really good system on finding out what that entry was about. Because at the very beginning, it was just me writing with a date, right? So it's like I wasn't sure what that writing was about. Was it related to a hobby? Was it related to a creative idea? Was it just a journal entry? Was it a creative quote? Miscellaneous, you name it. So I found a really good system, which is just commonplacing, and I found this really cool way to do it with some stickers, like label stickers, which again goes back to the very beginning topic of what the title is about: learning to have a more meaningful and slower life. Kind of just getting to understand myself, getting to understand the things that I like. I can have, with this system, a really good sort of like top-down view of all the entries that I have. And based on the sticker, I can see, like, am I spending a lot of time on my hobbies? Do I have a lot of creative ideas that I'm not acting on? Do I have a lot of journal entries that I would love to go back and kind of, dissect a little bit more? Do I have a lot to say and like on that field? Am I collecting a lot of quotes? I really wanted a really good system for collecting a lot of quotes. I love to read a lot, and I can get into that later. But this commonplace system works for me, and I can get into this on yet another video, which would be really cool. I'm very passionate about this just because, again, it's really helped me live more intentionally and remember the things that I want to remember. Like, the writing scientifically has been proving to help you retain the information a lot more. And it truly does work for me. And my mom used to tell me that even when I was little, that just because of the way I was, that I should be writing things down to remember them. And it's truly worked. Even like in school, it was the best way that I could have retained a lot of the things that they were teaching us. And I'm glad that I was able to be a part of like school at that time. I'm 31 years old, and I'm talking about this like it's been like 100 years. Where like we didn't have a laptop. Like now, like the kids have laptops and they have iPads and stuff like that. So it might be hard to, or at least for me, it probably be, yes, it's more efficient. For me, writing just works. It's worked in the past. It's truly working now. I have a lot more complex thoughts, things that I want to keep track of. Like I said, like I read a lot. I have a lot of creative ideas. So getting to just go back, highlight them, put more stickers in it, make it like decorative. Like you don't have to have like a soulless journal entry. I like to print photos. I'm a photographer, so it's cool for me to kind of just have like a visual grid. I have a lot of stickers. I love stickers. I have a sticker like release paper here and some other stuff. I can get into that again on another video. Oh, so many videos. But that's the system that works for me, commonplacing. And it just feels really good to just go back and see all the things that I've written about, get to revisit those memories that I had, those experiences, remember the quotes of books that I really enjoy. By the way, Will of the Many, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. So I highly recommend that. Like I said, if you're watching this and you're wanting to, go the opposite way of AI and ChatGPT and like taking notes on like an app that's not really working for you, that's not helping you retain the information, whether you're in school or not in school, or you just want to do this for fun, for things that truly matter to you, even just like drawing and doodling. I think like the pocket size, there's like a refill for specifically just like watercolor paper. If you want to be more creative and you don't have time to sit down and pull out this canvas and like make time to like draw and paint, a portable, canvas that you can take anywhere and take notes, it's probably going to be super beneficial for you to, again, live a more intentional life, doing the things that you love doing, remembering the things that you want to remember, and overall I think everyone should journal a lot more. It's definitely helped me. I have read that it's helped a ton of people, and I truly believe that it will help you as well. So if this video has been beneficial for you, if you got a little bit of insight on, what you could do to slow down, live a more meaningful life, live a slower life, and truly enjoy that peace and calmness without the, modern day things that are like weighing us down. Hopefully this helped you. And if you want more videos like this, please let me know. I have a lot of ideas. I want to keep creating this type of content for you guys, and it would mean a lot if you gave me some feedback. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.